This is Marla from Prodigal Finds God, and I have part 132 from Mandy de la Parra, Seek Heavenly Things. This was posted on 6/18/2026. It's called A Break Before Part 28, Declaration, Part 4, and Mom's Recovery, Part 2F. God's physical calendar, 3/15. God's spiritual calendar, 9/15. God's true Gregorian, 1/3. And here's what Mandy has to say about her mom. She says, update on Mom. She's still heading in the right direction. They're weaning her off the BPAP mask. Vitals are looking good. She is still sepsis, and they are keeping her blood pressure stable with meds, but she is on the right antibiotics. She definitely has Jesus. I prayed and asked him what happened after they said she had a urinary tract infection. And Jesus told me that because of the bacteria that was in her urinary tract, it caused the same bacteria to go into her leg. And the bacteria got in her bloodstream and made her to be sepsis. The doctors will never know, they said, but at least I planted the seed about our ultimate physician, Jesus, telling them what Jesus said. What's interesting is, on 6/13/2026, my message from Jesus. He spoke, it is a 31 countdown to restoration. That totally matches the countdown for now, as I am doing an update every day as the pre-countdown has started with Kassi's cancer journey, and since we have been in the hospital with my mom. Jesus and his prees. He is so funny. I haven't left her side, not once, since she has been in the ICU. I'm watching her, adjusting her pillows, feeding her, getting her ice chips, basically whatever she wants. I nicknamed her the Pillow Queen, LOL. Every time they give me a pillow from me, my mom wants another one. She is so cute and she is in good spirits. G has been such an amazing husband, bringing me a change of clothes and stuff to wash up with, bringing me food and staying with me in the evening, overnight, to be with me while I am with my mom. Sheila, my friend, has watched all the animals and also visited to keep me company throughout the day. I definitely have an awesome support team. My mom also has friends and family coming to see her as she is on the mend to recovery, and they brought goodies as well. Thanks for your continued prayers on her and the remaining of the Declaration Part 4 videos recorded on 6/10/2026 will be resumed on 6/21/2026 as per Jesus. I found something else interesting, what Jesus told me, matching the mirror of my mom going to the hospital. Mom went to the ER on 6/14/2026, and Jesus said this to me on 6/15/2026. It was a message for Sheila, G, and I. And here's what Mandy has to say. 6/15/2026, this is the message. Sheila, you won't know where the world is, but you know that because they will be safe, and that is your key to talk to Mandy's mom, because Mandy will not have a chance to say goodbye to her, because Mandy will not have a chance to say goodbye to her mother. I will have to whisk her away fast. That is when you will show her everything. There's going to be more evidence of all of this, and her mom will finally believe and understand. She will also see Mandy at a point where Mandy will seem smaller, but of course she will look at it like it's just a coincidence. But eventually it'll be too obvious for her not to believe more. So all of this coming, I just started with the left leg. My mom's infection, which brought her to the ER, was in the left leg. Had no clue what Jesus was talking about, but it always seems to fit with the current situation. So all of this is coming. I just started with the left leg. My mom's infection, which brought her to the ER, was the left leg. Had no clue what Jesus was talking about, but it always seems to fit with the current situation. It is just my childlike faith, I guess, but I believe God is always behind these things and sometimes warning us. Just like I don't believe it was a coincidence that I called my mother Sunday night to check on her and found out she was really sick. I usually don't reach out to her on Sundays, but it was my other brother's birthday, and he hadn't heard from her, so I was worried. I'm so thankful that I did call her because I saw that she was sick when I FaceTimed her, and I immediately went over there and called a friend of hers who was closer to her before I could get there because I was 20 minutes away, and she called the ambulance. I feel like this could have ended up so much worse if I did not pick up the phone and call her. So yes, I do believe God intervenes on things to help us and guide us. Originally, I wasn't supposed to talk to her until Monday when G and I were going to go to the grocery store for her. But I'm so thankful, and I called her that Sunday night because she may not be here if I didn't. Also, Jesus knew that I would be helping my mom and have no means to cook being at the hospital. So because my car insurance came out, making my account negative, I woke up yesterday morning and Jesus removed my car insurance payment, just like he did my cell phone, turning it back on without paying the bill and giving me a $35 credit, proving the worlds are colliding together and why there is a Mandela effect. I didn't have enough money to cover it, and I ended up being negative $200 after it came out. But yesterday, I woke up and looked at my account, and that payment was gone, and I had 98 cents. Well, then somebody in the group got it in their spirit to send me, G, and Sheila money, and I never told them I was negative in my account or asked for anything. But Jesus knew what we needed, so he changed my account by removing my car insurance so I could accept the money for Sheila, G, and I. But again, Jesus not only took the payment away, I logged into my Progressive insurance account, and payment is not due until the end of June now, after I already seen it taken out. Again, that's not another coincidence. That is Jesus working behind the scenes. Don't forget, Jesus had G and I get our 2 beach towels, the beach chair and the umbrella, which cost $225, matching the 522 journey, knowing that my car insurance was coming out. My car insurance always comes out in the beginning of the month, but he removed the payment and made it for the end of the month, after the payment had already been taken out. Again, proving the multiple worlds. So G and I knew we needed that $225 for the insurance, but Jesus needed us to be obedient and spend it making our beach video because God knew he was about to supernaturally change my account and change my payment. So because of G and I's faith, we listened to him, not worrying about our money and the insurance payment, knowing that God had us because we followed his instructions. So we bought it anyway, and look, he supernaturally took the payment away again, proving there's multiple worlds. I'm so grateful for him and our group for the love of our neighbor, listening to their spirit as Jesus guides them. We love Jesus. He knows everything we need before we even ask him. He's always on time and so loving. Now, on to the declaration, part 4. This was given to Mandy between 9/1 and 9/19, 2024. It's called Declaration, Part 4, Part 2F. And here is the message. I always give you choices for everything. Sometimes I call you away for Zooms because your Father knows what you need, and I know your home life or outings with your soulmates that are very important as personal attention given to your families and time of spending quality time with your family to show love to one another. But sometimes I call you away as a test. Am I isolating you even after I called unity? Again, you have to know the difference. I need all of you to realize you are always being set up for testing. This is why I tell you to use wisdom and discernment by the Holy Spirit. All of these lessons I am teaching you, I always put out witnesses to give you truths. If you were on the Zoom tonight, you would have seen the revelations that I have been giving you all. I am also giving them to my second circle meets the 12, Charlene and Jason. So do not miss the lesson. Don't forget, everything is a test. You have to show true discernment by the Spirit with wisdom and learn, live, and breathe in all of my lessons. And do not forget what I have already taught all of you so you can be successful for the next lesson. Moving on. Kathy, Matthew, and Lori. I did that to you 3 a long time ago with testing, which is why you came in at the end and Kathy closer to the end. So you 3 could help guide the group and keep them balanced. I even pulled people in from different circles, and I have tested these 3 to the max, and I always set them up for testing. but they are seasoned on meat, and they know how to use wisdom and discernment by the Spirit. But that doesn't mean they are finished. There is always room for learning and changing. Never think you are done, because you aren't. As my kings and queens, you will never stop learning, and you will always continue to learn from me and never stop. Poor Kassi, I had her do cancer treatments, lose her hair, and make her have the biggest test of faith when I had the devil pronounce death over her. But it wasn't an actual death. It was a trial, a test, a facade. I allowed it for purification and faith, because I already told her she was getting the waters of Dan, and she would be healed. And I am using her for hardships through testing of symbolism while purifying her heart and cleansing her. This is why the bee therapy messages was pulling up thoughts from your own hearts, because I already spoke in a previous prophecy that Kassi was healed. But you forgot the previous lesson in prophecy. But you weren't the only one, Ashlyn. Several of you were searching for remedies of healing, even though I already told you she was healed. So the message I gave Ashlyn contradicted the previous prophecy. And it was another example of wavering faith, not believing in spoken words and missing the lesson. I told you, if I give you something that contradicts what I have already given you, then you need to use wisdom and discernment by the Spirit. Again, I was testing you all and training so you all can become battle ready. Stick around for Declaration Part 4, Part 3A. Mandy has a postscript, P.S. My mom knows about this post, and she approves every picture before I post anything because she wants to keep her family and friends updated.